All right, folks, here we are. We're back here again here. We got some dangerous stuff going on here. Man, I can't believe what the heck is happening here. We just got a knucklehead and he is stubborn as a mule. Can't see the hair right on the wall, man. It's people, he just bullheaded. He go take us down with him. He gonna drag me down with the Titanic. What's up, Ted?
We do not have a right wing America or a left wing America. We don't have a conservative or a liberal America. We have an America. Do we?
Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Go.
All right, folks, we starting out now. This is it. Yeah, Mr. Harvey said we just got an America here. Man, did you notice that in all of Trump's videos when he's sitting there at the in his office there in the White House and everything, they got a big map sitting behind him, and that map says Gulf of America. Oh,
He's defiant, ain't he?
yeah, man, he defied. He said, "Shit, I done call it. I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna put it down there." But anyway, that's the least of our worries. That map on the wall. I just happened to think about that when I saw it. I said, "Oh my God, there it is, the Gulf of America." Because I've been looking at some of his videos and stuff, and him talking and stuff, and I'm trying to figure out when is he going to give up the ghost and decide that he is going to end this daggone tariff stuff and everything that's creating all kinds of problems with this country and with a lot of other countries out there. The fight is on, brother. I mean, it is on. You don't know where everybody's allegiance stand here. He he's sitting over there trying to make himself relevant. He done already went over there and pissed in Ukraine and stuff and said, "Well, I'm gonna try to get a peace agreement." He couldn't get it, so he just shut the hell up and just walked away. And now he wants to go to Iran and negotiate a nuclear armament deal. And he must not know that Iran and Russia are in the BRICS. They all in this BRIC thing, man. Does he realize who BRIC is? I don't think he realizes what that is. I really don't. He can't. He's sitting down there bashing people who are sitting there in working with BRICS, and he's bashing them, and he's bashing China, and China and Russia is just sitting right over there together. And this is, I don't believe he knows what the hell he's doing. And his people need to get some balls and tell him what the hell's going on. Because I know they know better. I know they know better, but they just can't.
We in a reality show, bro. That's all we are into. Every week there's a reality show. We got to have a new episode. That's the way he playing this game.
This
What
ain't
he
no
getting out
game
of
now.
it though, behind under the covers and behind closed doors, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't. We have no idea. But anytime they bring the cameras out, they licking his butt and stuff. You're gonna turn around there and they're gonna kiss his ass. And I know they're not telling him the truth. They can't be, Ted. They can't be just going around and doing this whole crazy stuff here and everything, and not getting anything accomplished and stuff. And I guess they figured that they're fooling people in this country, but most of the folks around here, man, they got a whole lot of daggone sense. What do you do?
Well, he utilizing all of his cohorts all over the country. I saw a video showing that a half a dozen people came to pick up this little girl who's been in America for 4 or 5 years or longer, and from HHS, and then you had police officer or ICE or whoever was with these people to pick them up. And fortunate, the lawyer had happened to pull up, and he gave them the riot act. You cannot pick her up. You got to have some paperwork. We don't even know who you are. You don't have no badges, no nothing. And plus, you have to go through court proceedings. I'm their lawyer. I'm her lawyer. This is what they're doing. They're going to a nice person's home who this little girl happened to be staying there. And they tried to pick this little girl up who's not doing anything, ain't committed no crime, ain't done nothing. But they got a half a dozen people to pick up this little girl. What happened to picking up all the criminals? I thought he's supposed to be picking up all the criminals.
They have to make a show, Ted. This is a show. Like you just said, it's a show. This is a show. That's what this is. This is a show of their power, what they can do. Luckily, they didn't push the attorney aside and everything and tell them to get the hell out of the way and took the child anyway. I thought you were gonna say that they just told him to kiss their butt. They don't give a damn if he's an attorney or not, and they were gonna take her because that's the attitude that they have and stuff right now. At least that's what Trump and all his folks got. This guy
They
that
don't want to get sued, Ed. That's the reason why they didn't do
this
it.
is they have a 9-0 decision from the Supreme Court, which they have never had before. Every last one of them judges and stuff told them that they need to go down there and get that man out of that jail, and he has refused to do it.
Oh, the president of El Salvador
Yeah, he's supposed to be
was
coming to the
there,
United States.
and he
Yeah,
said he claimed he can't bring him back. That's what he told. That's what he told the press.
oh, okay.
They say if I release him, I would be releasing a terrorist in America.
Huh. So they just playing games with the U.S. justice system because Trump did the same thing. I can't do anything. It's up to the man down there who got him in their jail. And now he's here in the United States telling them, well, I can't release him because he's a terrorist.
Well, the Congress can stop giving them $6 million.
Well, they're not. You know they're not going to do that. You know they're not going to do that.
And we don't know how much money they're getting. They're getting that $6 million a week, a month, or a year.
Absolutely, and I can't blame him for that because he ain't gonna get that money up. I'm not giving him that money up. So
Because
this
don't
little
cost
boy,
us $6 million to take care of those.
yeah. So this guy is sitting down there in the jail illegally, and the Supreme Court can't even get him out. He's making an asshole. I guess the guy from the Midas Touch said we done gone way past a constitutional crisis. So this man is just we don't have no constitution. He even throw
We
the
don't have a legal
constitution out the
system
door.
either.
He throw the constitution out the door.
We don't have a legal system either.
Yeah, well, like I said last time, the 9 old folks up there gave that man the authority to do what the hell he's doing. They said that you can't bother him, you can't do anything to him, and they the one that created this monster, helped to create him. So what do you expect to happen when you give this man all this authority without thinking? Anyway, Ted, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, man. I have no idea. And man, I sat up from 3:30 last night all the way up until a couple of hours ago, just looking at the news stuff, and everything, and trying to see what the heck is going on out there in this world, because this crazy stuff is going on in this country is just, I don't know how anybody can even think about dealing with this nut there in the White House. Friday, he tells them, well, I'm going to exempt the phones and electronics that's coming from China. And then he turns around, get on the golf course, as he said, well, we ain't going to do that. And Po Tim Cook, he sit over there knowing that his stock, man, that went down, what, about 13% now, maybe more than that. I don't know. It's just bouncing around so crazy and stuff and everything. I have no idea. But his stock is going down because he can't get his phones and stuff out of China. But we found out that he sent a plane over to Xinjiang or wherever they have these daggone phones at, and he loaded the plane up with as many phones as they had before this tariff came into being. So maybe he brought enough phones over from China before the tariff got here. But they're saying that a lot of these stores, Apple stores now, they don't have nobody in there because they don't have no phones to sell these people. So he is just, man. Oh,
Well, the word is that we're going to look at, as far as the auto industry and all the different parts, we might exempt that. He
he
playing
playing
games with the
he
business
playing
people, man.
games, man. People not gonna believe that mess. You can't keep on doing up and down, up and down. People cannot run a company like that. Ford, Chrysler, Stylus, or whatever they call them, they can't, and General Motors can't run their companies like that. These countries cannot run their business like that. Might open down. I might do this and I might do that. If you're going to do all that stuff, eliminate the tariff completely and be done with it and go back to the drawing board. But you're too bullish and too bullheaded to do that. Just eliminate it. Matter of fact, China said, we'll negotiate with you. You eliminate them tariffs and we'll come back and negotiate with you. But until you eliminate them tariffs, we're not going to even be bothered with you. So now, Xi Jinping is riding around the world making deals.
He just signed a contract with Vietnam.
Yep, he signed a whole bunch of them with Vietnam. He got all their business, everything they got. He got it. And you know what they plan on doing? They plan on putting money into Vietnam, increasing their stuff and everything, making them top notch. And I didn't even know that Vietnam, they put a 46% tariff on them. So they probably mad at the US too. But
Well, this right here. Here's the thing. I'm gonna put a scenario out there. If somehow some of these Republicans wake up and they come to terms with the Democrats and say we're going to impeach this man, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to call for a martial law. This is what he wants. The question is, will the military agree to it?
and what will martial law do?
Well, they will
he's still not getting. He's still these people. These other countries are isolating him right now. They are isolating him. Their whole world is isolating him. He's sitting up there on a damn island, and he doesn't know it. They are isolating him. They are not. They are shutting off everything coming into this country, and he cannot survive if people don't give them their products that they need to survive and live off of, especially some of those precious metals that China is holding on to, saying they're not going to give them any more of that. All of their weaponry, they can't. They got Boeing tied up. They got McDonnell Douglas tied up. They got all these airplane companies tied up because they can't get the materials they need to finish building planes. So these companies are going to France and to Norway or wherever else build planes and stuff over there. Airbus. They can't get their cars done because all we do is assemble the cars. If these people don't give them their parts, what they're gonna do? Plus, they got parts that come from China that goes into them cars. And he'd already said China, you can't get them anything. So hey. And Zhao said until he gets rid of all them tariffs, every last one of them, he's not going to deal with him. He can cry all he wants. He got to give up everything and give them some respect.
I think Trump done lost his power.
And that's what I'm saying to you, that even if he declares martial law, it's not going to do me any good. That game is off the table. Everybody, Japan, they're getting ready to sign deals with China. They getting ready. I think that's his next stop, Japan. Then he's making overtures to the European Union. If he gets the EU to go along with him and China go along with him, the dollar's in trouble. Canada has said they shutting the pipeline off. They done stopped over 4 million barrels of oil going down that pipeline, the Keystone pipeline. They done shut that baby off. They said, we got to close that baby off going north. That oil is going east and west now. They got a new pipeline. And all the environmentalists that they were fighting, because they said that if they got a leak, it was going to destroy their wetlands and animals over there. Canada put for a trust fund of $1.5 billion if they do have an oil leak, that they can repair the environment and stuff and everything. And if they need any more money, they're going to give it to them, because they didn't just sign a deal with a Chinese company who has base right there in Canada to sell them all the oil that goes to the West Coast, and it belongs to them. They bought it all. And they're the ones who are going to negotiate sending it to India, anybody else that needs the oil. When you got money,
this man is losing this war.
Yes, sir. When you got money, you can do that, because that's what the premier of Calgary was worried about, that they was gonna, if they lost their oil, which was all of their revenue, that they wasn't going. That she said we ain't gonna do it, but they done found a way out of that now. It's going. China done bought the oil. Every bit of oil that goes up through that pipeline west belongs to China. They bought it before it even hits the pipeline. That's the guarantee they can get them. And the other stuff going to the East Coast and everything, Europe done bought all that oil. So now he picking our own girlfriend down in Mexico. He told her that she got the water. I don't know what.
She got the what?
She got the water. She got the water that's supposed to go to Texas. He done told her she got to get the water up. I didn't even look at it, man. It was so ridiculous. I didn't even look at it. But he tried to get her because she got the water. She took some water from Texas. This man has got to be the dumbest son of a gun that ever walked the face of this earth. And they say he's a businessman. Out of the deal. He's out of the deal. He got to be out of here. Yeah. They got doctors now saying that he might be insane. Oh, they said people who are insane do that kind of stuff. They say one thing one day, and the next day they say something else because they done forgot what they done said the day before. He showing signs of dementia. Oh man. Ted is something else here, man. I'm praying every day, man. I get up every morning and I pray and say, Lord, come on now. You got to give us a break from this mess here because this is too much. I can't stand it. I'm gonna have to pack up and leave the US, man, and go to another country so I can relax and breathe a little easier because I can't do it here. Oh man.
Well, another thing too is that he's gone crazy with education and DEI.
He's been going crazy with that, and the people are parroting this stuff and acting like it's okay. That Caroline Levitt, anything you ask her, she just parrot what it. Oh, he's the greatest thing in the world, and we're lucky to have him to be our president. He paying her wherever he paying her. She ain't paying her enough. He ain't paying her enough.
I don't understand. These people are supposed to be Americans and they believe or supposed to believe in the Constitution and right and wrong. Do they know that they're going to go down in history as the worst cabinet that ever existed for what they're doing? Right now, we have a report in Los Angeles Times that there's another fungus or pandemic on its way because of something that has not can't be contained. Our CDC is in
Disarray.
turmoil.
Right, disarray.
In turmoil, and there's no alarm. Our weather channels to prevent or help these people to give them heads up of what's coming, that's been destroyed. Now we have disasters in Kentucky. We have disasters in certain the South that's just going crazy. All kinds of areas. And this is hurricane tornado season. And these people are getting decimated all over the country. North Carolina has not been settled. Kentucky has not been settled. Certain parts of Louisiana and Tennessee. What is wrong with these people? What? I don't get it. I guess it only until it hits them, until it hit these Congress people,
It's probably hit
they don't
some of them.
care.
It's probably hit some of them, Ted. I believe that this man has threatened these people. I do. I really do. I believe that he has threatened these people, and and they are very, very, very afraid. I believe he has threatened them, and they are absolutely afraid of this man. They are absolutely scared of him.
Well, they better come together and come before the American people. Hold a press
Well,
conference.
I don't even believe that they're not even afraid of that, Ted. I don't believe they're afraid of that. They are afraid of this man, absolutely in fear of him. I mean, absolutely in fear of him and what he's gonna do to them. I believe they are absolutely afraid. And they don't if they're not elected again, I'm pretty sure they don't care because this is just too much. Because Ted, all this stuff going on and how these folks' lives have been torn apart and upside down, and these older people and stuff and everything who are struggling out there, the people in those areas and stuff that you're talking about, and I know that those congressmen and stuff know, especially the ones there in North Carolina, what the heck is going on with their people, and they ain't said a word. They got to know what's going on with their people in their district there. And the folks and stuff who are in that district who has been devastated, where's their congressman at? The folks and stuff who's in the Kentucky district and stuff and everything, where their people are being devastated, where's their congressperson at? They already know, Ted, that if they cut Medicaid, which they're talking about doing, they passing these daggone preliminary laws and stuff and everything to allow them to keep on going so they can pull together these daggone cuts and they are projected to cutting Medicaid. And if they cut the Medicaid, all those people up there in them red states and them little bitty towns and stuff and everything are going to lose their hospitals because that funding for those hospitals come from Medicaid, especially up there in those mountains in Kentucky, out there in Missouri and those heartlands, in Kansas, in Arkansas, all those out of the way states and stuff and everything. They depend on that Medicaid money to keep their hospitals where people can go to a hospital and everything and get care. If they cut it, they're going to lose their hospitals. And these governors and stuff know it. The only one who has spoken out is the governor in Kentucky. He had told them, if they take the Medicaid money, we're going to lose these hospitals. Now, the rest of those governors and stuff in those states haven't opened their mouth and said a word. That these cuts are going to be devastating to their people. Devastating. So you wonder and stuff here. Yes, you're talking about their patriotism and all that, but how do you sleep at night? How do you go to bed and sleep at night knowing that you are getting ready to devastate a whole big parcel of folks? Their hospitals are going to be gone. No care at all. What are they going to do with these senior citizens? Well, some of them have already thought about it because guess what? some of these states have already passed laws that if someone who's senior citizen who is in a nursing home and everything, and they don't have any funding at all or whatever, that the nursing home can't throw them out, because guess who's going to have to pay for it? Their children. They're coming after them to get their money.
What if they don't have children?
Then they throw it out.
What if they don't have children?
They throw it out. They ask that question. What happens if we don't have children? They wouldn't answer that question. When they asked them that question, they wouldn't answer. They beat around the bush. What do we do? Where we at? Well, Ted, what else is going on around the country, around the world, and what's happening here? I see you been watching your sports and stuff here and everything. I see the Donald and stuff and everything. He went up this weekend and stuff and went to a wrestling match, one of the UWA wrestling match. he then went back to his roots. He got to go to a wrestling match. I know you've heard that Doge and Elon Musk have finally told the people that they haven't found the billions and billions and billions of dollars that they said that they were going to save this country.
He got what he wanted.
That they haven't got any of that money, but they did say they saved about $2 billion. But when he gave them a copy of the report that he had, it was some of that stuff had double entries in it. They had an entry at one for the page, and the same entry was on the last page.
He ain't nothing but a con, bro. Just like the rest
of them. That's a con, man. He done con the people. He done con these folks, man. He done con Trump.
He sat there and lied in that.
But I have to give him credit. Yeah, I have to give him credit to him. He admitted that he didn't do it. He ain't like Donald and just keep on lying about it. He admitted he didn't find it. When we didn't find all that money there, we thought we were going to cut. We couldn't get to that $1 trillion. So we got about 3 billion. That was it. He done screwed up. All these people lied. Fired these folks. They out there, don't have no money, trying to get unemployment. And he only got $2 billion, and that's suspect. And he turned around there and robbed him for what, about $36 billion to go to the space station. And it was said that all the money that they thought that they had saved, Donald has already spent that, because every weekend he goes to Mar-a-Lago, it's $20-some million that he gonna spend every weekend he go. And every weekend so far, he left Washington, D.C. and went to Mar-a-Lago. Every time you go down there, it's $25 million or more down the drain.
And you know why? Because he charges all those agents, over 200 plus agents, then the flight and all that stuff, he charges the government. And it goes into his business. You know, the food they eat, the drinks they eat, the hotel they stay in. He charges the American government. That's how he's making his little money. So he probably made $100 million just on those trips every weekend for the last 2-3 months.
Yeah, and he ain't done. And he's not done. Every weekend. Ain't nobody said a word about that. A waste of money. They haven't even mentioned it.
Oh, our girl Jasmine Crockett mentioned it. She mentioned it
Oh, she did? Oh,
right
okay.
in committee meetings. $26 million.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Go, girlfriend. Go, girlfriend.
She mentioned it. I'm gonna just take a couple of minutes just to change the subject,
Go ahead.
because here's the thing. And once again, I listen to these little conservative radio stations because I want to know what they're talking about. And every other sentence that they talk about is always talking about left wing progressives, and always the left wings, the leftists, the liberals, this, all of that. They're in bad shape. They got the lowest rating and blah, 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 blah. They keep feeding these people, keep on as though the woke agenda and that kind of thing. They always talk about that. And they don't never tell the full story. They'll just tell parts of the story of what the Democrats are doing. They call the Democrats, they don't even call them Democrats no more. They call them the left. And, years ago, I sort of kind of, and this is just me, just doing my research years ago, I kind of admired the Republican Party to a certain degree, because this is what they're supposed to stand for: emphasis, tradition, stability, limited government intervention in economic matters. Free market supports a laissez faire economy with minimum government regulations. Individual freedom prioritizes personal responsibility and individual rights. Often emphasizes national identity and sovereignty. Now, those terms and those definitions, or those things that the free market, I'm for. Limited government, I'm for. Individual freedom, I'm for. Being proud and of our national, about being America, I'm for. I'm for all of that. But they have taken it to another extreme. This is not conservative. This is not Republican or conservative. This is what they're doing now, is all about taking control. Now, prior to the 60s, mostly all of black folk, mostly all of them were Republicans. And the reason why is because of Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. And there were a lot of Republicans that were conservative, and a lot of black folks were conservative, because a lot of us was in traditional families and what have you. For those of us that were in traditional families, there was a lot of people that was for education and being progressive. We liked the free markets. That's what we wanted. But during that time, we were segregated.
Mm-hmm.
But we were surviving. We couldn't go to grocery stores or restaurants, and if we went to grocery stores, that we was treated a certain way. All those types of things that we were going through, because we couldn't go to restaurants and all that. We went to our own restaurants. We went to our own grocery stores. But there was a reason why, is because the commerce, the capital that was available to us, because we only had so much capital. And we needed more capital. Here I am banking with this white bank, But yet still, I can't get a loan for my business to grow. So the big push was, hey, we need more capital. We need to be integrated because we're not being treated fairly when it comes to economics. I'm buying your product, but I can't work in your store or your company. So we need more employment. So it was a big push, and that's what Martin Luther King, you talked about Martin Luther King, that's what that was all about. When it came to housing, so in the 60s, 64, all of these different laws were changed. We had fought for years for freedom of education, separate but equal. We wanted everyone to, we should be able to go to any school we wanted to. So here we are now trying to reverse everything back. And they want to just open up the floodgates and say, hey, if you want to discriminate against anybody, any race, nationality, you can do that. Or, when I say discriminate, meaning that you ain't got to consider them. There's no laws regarding that. They just done wipe the books off of that from the federal government. So that means that everybody in America, or back then, was not free, total freedom. And now, and it's always been a scuffle or a challenge, but now even more so. Because they don't like competition. And that's the big thing right now, is because the black folks, in so many ways and so long, they decided, hey, we're going to, instead of a revolution, we're going to educate ourselves so that we can get those jobs and so that we can be in those positions. And that's what we did. And you had so many people of color getting into these corporate worlds. Some of them are CEOs, some of them are officers, a lot of them became board members, and all of those things. However, we start changing, and this is the thing. America has 150 to 200 million people that just got off the boat in the last 60 years. And what I mean by that is that's not a negative connotation, meaning that they just became Americans.
Including Trump. His folks.
Well, his family been here since about 100 years.
100 years, oh, okay. So his daddy been here.
The thing is that, I'm sorry.
So his daddy has been here for at least, 10 years before he...
Well, his daddy was here all his whole life. It was his grandfather who was established, came from Germany, and he opened up a dry goods store when it was a gold rush. His grandfather.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Plus, he had a whole house.
He had a whole house. Okay. That sounds like your granddaddy.
Well, they call it a brothel. Hey, yeah. They call it a brothel. I'll put it like that.
That's a whole house.
So he had a brothel house on the side. Plus, he had a dry goods. Yeah, he had a whole house. And so when his grandfather moved to New York, his dad started growing up with his father, and he ended up going back to Germany, getting his wife, then moved to New York. Mm-hmm. And that's how he started his game plan.
Okay, so
And he had a little cash because his dad had left him a little money because he had that.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry?
part of his riches and stuff came from whorehouses.
And I believe, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, I believe that his daddy had a little hand in that too, because you know New York was known for having those madams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know the history of New York, but they was known to have those madams all over New York. And I believe his dad was involved in that. And then he used that to blackmail, and this just me, I'm just talking, I'm looking at, he used that to blackmail some of those people that was in governance in New York to get all those contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So that he can build certain things. He was a builder now. His dad was a builder, a real builder.
And he had a lawyer. Man, what's that man's
Yes.
name? He had that lawyer that sued people all the time. He was the one that had him.
There
And
you
then Donald got him. Forget that man's name, but he was the one that Mark suing. Oh, did you know, man, that they are suing CBS for $20 billion? $20
billion.
$20 billion, yeah.
For that little chaos, that little thing.
Right. That thing that they had with the with Harris, Kamala Harris. They suing for $20 billion. He said that he got embarrassed because they didn't pronounce his name right. And they cut out some of her Anderas and stuff and everything. So he's suing them because for $20 billion. Him and the congressman down there, Jackson, he used to be a doctor. $20 billion they suing him for. And he proud of it. Yes, I'm suing it for $20 billion. And he's bragging to the news people and stuff. He's bragging to everybody about how he done took these law firms and stuff, and he owns them now. They done gave him all that free stuff and everything. And he getting ready to use them. Now I know that they didn't expect him to say that, but he said it out there right on one of his little.
Said it out loud.
Said it out loud. I got them. They my bitches. They my whores. He didn't say that, but in essence, that's what he's saying. You my hoe. You my bitch.
Well, he said it flat out about the countries.
Mm-hmm.
They coming to kiss my ass. That's what he said.
Kiss my ass. And he might as well have told them law firms the same thing. Yeah, come on over here and kiss my ass too. I got you. You belong to me. A bully. That's what he is. Anyway, Ted, what's your final word?
Well, people are brainwashed, man. They're into this right wing, left wing, conservative, progressive. I just wish people would wake up. Do the right thing. That's all I got to say. What's wrong is wrong. What's right is right. Do the right thing. People this is a free country. People going to do what they want to do, and whether it's in the open or behind closed doors. Whether they're gay, whether they're transgender, whether they're drug addicts, whatever, people going to do what they're going to do. This is a free country. If they break the law, then they break the law. But what I'm saying is, this is supposed to be a free country. And if you're an adult and you give consent to whatever it is, you got almost 3 million people in jail and in prison. And then we got to pay over $200 billion or more for all of that crap. Then you're paying another $200 billion instead of setting up a correct immigration laws. So you done wasted $500 million just on BS. Just 25 years ago, 30 years ago, was only 300 million people total, 300,000 people total in jail. So you think incarcerating people and running people's lives and that's supposed to? I don't get it.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I have to give. I know a lot of folks and stuff have put these two individuals and stuff on the back burner and really haven't said a whole lot about them, and they just okay, well, let them do that. I have to give AOC and Bernie Sanders some credit. At least they're getting out there and doing something, and they are bringing in some big crowd and stuff, even in these red states. And they are doing something that some of the other Democrats and everything could be out there doing. And mark the upright, because I know that this man is 80 some years old and he's still sitting out there talking and trying to do some things, and he's doing whatever he can and stuff to rile these people up. And in each one of his gatherings he got out there, and he's telling the folks out there, it's up to you guys and stuff to stop this mess, because these people up there on Capitol Hill, they're not doing nothing. They're not doing dooley squat. So you guys gonna have to do what need to get done. And I know he went.
Let me intervene. Let me talk about the left wing. The progressivism focuses on social and economic change, often advocating for greater government intervention. Social welfare supports government programs and policies to address social and economic inequality. Regulations favors government regulations of the economy to protect the public interest. Global cooperation often emphasizes international cooperations and diplomacy. That's what Bernie Sanders is all about. But there's more to that. You gotta talk about small business. You gotta talk about big corporations, not just talk about pay your fair share. A lot of those corporations want to do the right things, and a lot of them were trying to do the right things. They started the DEI stuff. They started hiring all kinds of people and incorporating people into their corporate world. But I don't know if it was not enough for them or what. But a lot of these corporations, they set up all these DEI programs and had officers of hiring all these people. These schools was doing the same thing.
I just picked out one little incident here that I wanted to at least pat someone on the back that is doing something. That was my purpose for bringing up Bernie and AOC, that they are out there doing something. Now, all the other stuff, yep, we got some other internal problems or whatever and everything, but I was like giving out an award. I'm at the Academy Awards and I'm giving out an award. I'm giving out that award to AOC and Bernie Sanders. Now, there have been other actors out there, did a hell of a job and everything, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but you have to pick out at least one. And that's what I just did. I just picked out one. Two that deserve to be given some accolades
Well,
and
where's
stuff
the rest
with
of them, man?
what they're doing. Well,
Where are the rest of them?
but you can only give out. This is the Academy Award. They only give out one. They give out one Academy Award for each. They give out one Academy Award for each category. So I'm giving out the Academy Award. I'm giving out this award to AOC and Bernie Sanders. So the rest of them, yeah, they all in the mix. They all in the mix, but I'm just giving out the Academy Award to them.
I got you. I mean, yeah. I'll pat them on the back. Because
okay, that's how
we
they
talked
want.
about that 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Won't these people get out there and start
I
talking?
will, but they I thought they were going to stop, but they back out there again. And I think that I'm hoping that they stay out there until we can get this stuff taken care of. Anyway, we're gonna end, people. I done passed out my Academy Award. Ted passed out his. We see you guys tomorrow on time.